So open source software is a type of software or a category of software, and here whose source code is freely available. It is one more foundation or non-profit organization to support open source software. No one has the rights to do any changes, any modification, even with respect to size and color, and no one can use the same trademark owned by the company or any organization. Dear students, welcome to Computer Science Revision classes. I am Ravi Kumar KR, lecturer in Computer Science, Vidhyaashram PU College, Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. Students, let us start our session with the chapter number 16, that is Internet and Open Source Concepts. Now, the weightage of the chapter is 4 marks. Here one MCQ for 1 mark and one 3 marks question. Total weightage is 4 marks. So, in this session, we are going to talk about open source software, related terms with respect to software, and e-commerce. Now, let us start with the definition of open source software. So, what is open source software? Now, open source software is used to refer to those category of software or programs whose license do not impose much condition. So, such software is generally give users freedom to run and freedom to modify and to redistribute copies of their with original or modified the program. See, this is the concept of open source. Now, in our day-to-day life, we will come across different types of software, and most of software what we use, only we have given permission to use the software, and we don't have any permission to modify the software, change the software, or we are not supposed to copy the software. But here, if we talk about the concept, open source software or a concept, this is a type of software, and here whose license do not impose much condition. Generally, each and every software will be having its own license. So, with respect to this concept, the license is which will not impose much conditions on the particular software. So, because of that, any user, he can use the software for free, or he can use the software, he can run the program, and he can use it for different applications, he can modify it, he can redistribute. See, this is the concept of open source concepts or open source software. Now, in the next slide, we will see what is a free software. Say another definition is free software or a type of software. It is a software is freely accessible and can be freely used, changed, improved, copied, and redistributed by all who wish to do so. And the payments are not needed to made for free software. So this is another type of software, that is free software. So here the software is freely available, it can be free accessible, you can redistribute, you can change, you can modify, and so on. But payment may not be there. And the freedom to run the program for any purpose. And the difference between this and open source here is that the freedom to study how the program works and adapt it to your needs. Access to those source code is precondition for this. So this is the only difference between free software as well as open source concept. Here in free software, so any software which are free, so anybody can make use of this. He can do any changes, modify anything as per his requirement. He can use this for different applications or different purpose. But the source code of the particular program or application is it is not free. It requires a prior permission from the author, from the owner. So this is free software. The freedom to redistribute copies, so you can help your neighbor. That is a redistribution. Now, the freedom to improve the program and release your improvements to the public so that the whole community benefits. Access to source code is a precondition to this. Again, another advantage of using free software is, so anyone can access the software and he can make any changes and he can improve the software so that for the sake of publicity, for public or for different community or community benefits. This is the definition of free software. Next concept is OSS. What is OSS? The OSS stands for open source software. So here, which refers to software whose source code is available to customers and it can be modified and redistributed without any limitations. So next concept is OSS, open source software. So open source software is a type of software or a category of software, and here whose source code is freely available. So once the source code is available to the programmer or to the user can modify the program and he can redistribute the program, he can change the program according to his needs without any limitations. That is OSS. Now, it may come free of cost or with a payment or nominal charges, that is for developers may change in the name of development, support of software. So here there may not be any fees for this or a payment for this, or there may be chances of a nominal charges for the development or to support the software development team. This is OSS. Next definition is FLOSS, FLOSS. FLOSS is a full free, libre and open source software. This is the full form of this. It is a free, libre and open source software. Now, the FLOSS is used to refer to software, both free software as well as open source software. So in our previous slide, we have learned two definitions. One is open source software and free software. So this is the term. FLOSS is a term we use to a type of software which is free as well as open source software. Here, the word libre and libre means freedom. So this is FLOSS. Next definition is FSF. So what is FSF? It stands for Free Software Foundation. So what is Free Software Foundation? It is a non-profit organization and created for purpose of supporting the free software movement. So it is a foundation, it is just like an NGO, non-profit organization to support free software movement. Next one is OSI, that is Open Source Initiative. Now, the full form of OSI is Open Source Initiative. It is an organization and dedicated to cause promoting open source software. So it is one more foundation or non-profit organization to support open source software. Next one is W3C. So W3C, it is acronym for World Wide Web Consortium. So it is responsible for W3C, responsible for producing the software standards for World Wide Web. So it is W3C. It is a foundation. So it is responsible for, or it is going to support a program or a software for World Wide Web or WWW. Next concept is proprietary software. So proprietary software, it is a software that is neither open nor freely available. So it is a type of software is called proprietary, neither free nor open source. Now its use is regulated and further distribution and modification is either forbidden or requires a special permission by the supplier or the vendor. So what is a proprietary software? So proprietary software, it is a type of software. So here it has its own regulation. So, and here the license which impose few conditions for this type of software. And here the distribution and its usage, modification, it depends on the prior permission from the owner or the proprietor or the supplier or the vendor. So this is a proprietary software. And source code of proprietary software is normally not available. In proprietary software, source code is not available. So this is proprietary software. Next concept is electronic commerce or e-commerce. So what is e-commerce? Here E stands for electronic. commerce. It is a trade of goods and service with the help of telecommunication and computers. So what is the meaning of this? This is trade of goods or a services or a business. It is through electronic devices, that is, or telecommunication devices and computers. So this is trade and business through computers is referred as e-commerce or electronic commerce. Now let us see what are different technologies and services in e-commerce. So here the technologies and services are, first one is electronic data interchange. So here what is the meaning of this? Is the process which allow one company to send information to another company electronically rather than paper. This is through computers. So that is electronic data exchange. Email. Now you know what is an email? Electronic mail. So here one company can send a message to another company, or employees can interchange their messages or data through email, that is electronic mail, through computers. Next one is electronic fund transfer and electronic forms. Electronic forms, you know what is nowadays in almost all education institutions, they'll provide online application form and admission forms. That is nothing but electronic forms. So any students or anyone can apply to a particular institute or organization through electronics, this online forms, that is electronic forms. Next one is the digital cash, that is Paytm, Google Pay, all these are example for digital cash. Next one is barcoding and imaging, voice recognition, all these are different technologies of e-commerce. Next, we will see what are different types of e-commerce applications. One is B2B, that is business to business, business to consumer, B2C, consumer to business, C2B, and consumer to consumer, C2C. These are all different types of e-commerce applications. Now let us see first one. What is B2B, business to business? Here, the exchange of services or information or products, nothing but business, from one business to another business partners is called business to business. So it is one business to another business, that is B2B, business to business. Example is ebay.com. Next one is business to consumer. Business to consumer, the exchange of services or information or product from a business to the consumer. So here for the users. So this is business to consumer, that is B2C, electronic commerce. Next one is C2B, consumer to business. So what is the meaning of this? Here consumer directly contact with the business vendors by posting their project work with set budget online, so that needy companies review and contact the customer directly. So here consumer to business, here any user or any customer, he can put his product or any software or a project through online, so that any interested companies or interested business, they will contact this person directly. So that is consumer to business transaction or e-commerce. Next one is consumer to consumer, C2C. It is a business model where customers can trade with each other, typically online. So here one customer or a user, he can sell his product directly to the another user, not to any other companies. So here one user can trade with another user directly through online, that is consumer to consumer, C2C e-commerce. Now let us see what are all the advantages of e-commerce. First one is easier entry into new market, especially geographically remote markets for companies of all size and locations. Nowadays, we are using online business, online commerce, online trading, everything very frequently. So that is mainly because of this. So with the help of what the advantage is, geographically located or remote located people can do market, can do business through online with the help of e-commerce. That is advantages of e-commerce. Now creates a new market through the ability to easily and economically rate potential for customers. So this is another advantage, global participation. What is the meaning of global participation? Here, any business nowadays, it goes to entire globe through internet or online. That is a global participation. So same thing, anyone who are from a remote location, he can sell his product globally to anyone on the globe through internet. That is the meaning of global participation. Optimization of resources, reduce the time to complete the business transaction, particularly from delivery to payment. So advantage is that we can avoid or reduce the time in completing the business transaction from buying to till delivery and payment. That is that one more advantage. Next one is buyer makes a buying decision, create the purchase order, but does not print it. There is another one. Here buyer himself, one who going to buy any product, or the user directly he make a decision and he will directly create the purchase order. That is through online. Next, improved market intelligence and strategic planning. This is as the business or trade goes worldwide or in global, so obviously this is market intelligence and strategies are important. That is another point. Next one is EDI software creates electronic version of the purchase order and transmit it to the customer or to the user directly. So here there won't be any much of paperwork. Electronically means through computers one can create a purchase order, bill, receipt, everything can be done. It can be transferred to the user or to the supplier through computers. Supplier's order entry system receives the purchase order and updates the system immediately on the receipt. So same, this is point connected with this. So once everything is, all the transaction nowadays is taking place through computers, avoiding or there may be a minimum of paperwork. That is the advantage of e-commerce. Now the next concept is IPR, intellectual property rights in India. This is IPR. So it administered by Department of Industrial Property and Promotion. IPR related issues are governed by the following acts. One is Patent Act of 1970 and Patent Rule. Second one is Trademark Act and Indian Copyright Act. See, all these, the three, comes under IPR, that is Intellectual Property Rights. So here, the Geographical Indications of Goods, Registration and Protection Act, and the Geographical Indications of Goods, that is Rules 2002. All these are coming under IPR, that is Intellectual Property Rights. Now here, there are 4 types of IPR in India. They are Patent Act, Trademark Act, Copyright, and Trade Secret. So now let us see what is a patent. Patent is a legal document granted by the government giving investor or inventor the exclusive right to make use of it, sell the invention for a specified number of years. So it can be a books, movies, work of art, it can be anything. So what is Patent Act? Here the Patent Act is nothing but it is a legal document. So it is given by a government. So according to this, only the owner has all the rights for usage of his invention, maybe invention in the form of a books or movie or maybe work of art. He has the right to redistribute or sell anything. But other than him, no one has the rights to do any operations on his product. So that is the meaning of Patent Act here. Only the owner or one who has taken the patent, a legal document from the government, he has all the rights. Others do not have these things. So this is Patent Act. For example, if a book, Suppose anyone has taken the license or legal document or a patent of particular book and no other has the rights to redistribute it or re-editing and reprinting or copying. All these are against to the rules of Patent Act. So that is an example for Patent Act. Next one is Trademark Act. So what is trademark means? A mark capable of being represented geographically and which is capable of distinguishing the goods or services of one from to another devices or another person, so or another business. So what I mean of trademark? See, trademark nowadays you have come across different trademark for any business. A simple example is, you take an example like a Bata. Bata is a shoe company, they will be having the trademark. So what the Trademark Act means, whatever the trademark of owned by a particular company, it has to be used by them, and no one has the rights to do any changes, any modifications, even with respect to size and color, and no one can use the same trademark owned by the company or any organization. So that is Trademark Act. Next one is Copyright Act. See, what is Copyright Act? Means the meaning of this is the author of the work shall be the first owner of the copyright. It provides for fair dealing of a copyright work for the purpose of research or study, criticism or review, and proceedings and giving professional advices. So what is meaning of Copyright Act? The copyright, it has taken by a concerned body or from the government. So only according to this, only the owner has all the rights of particular product. That is Copyright Act. Next concept is FICCI, that is the Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce in India. It is a non-government trade association and it is a advocacy group of based in India. So it efforts is emphasize the enhancing of working of the Indian Patent Office, thereby bringing the greater transparency in its work. So what is this FICCI? It is working for the benefits of different types of act, that is just like a patent office, and bringing greater transparency in their work. This is FICCI. Students, so far we have discussed about the different important concepts of the chapter Internet and open source concepts. Let us continue our discussion in my next class. Thank you very much.